From PEP Radio Studios, it's time for Today in History for March 4th. On March 4th, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated for a second term, with the end of the Civil War in sight, and just 6 weeks before his assassination, Lincoln declared, "With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the fight as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to the finish line, the work we are in to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations." Also on this date, in 1789, the Constitution of the United States took effect as the first federal Congress met in New York. In 1801, Thomas Jefferson became the first president to be inaugurated in Washington, D.C. In 1933, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated for his first term as president. He was the last U.S. president to be inaugurated on this date. Subsequent inaugurations have been held on January 20th. In his inaugural speech, Roosevelt stated, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." In 1966, John Lennon of the Beatles was quoted in the London Evening Standard as saying, "We're more popular than Jesus now," a comment that caused an angry backlash in the United States. In 1987, President Ronald Reagan addressed the nation on the Iran-Contra affair, acknowledging that his overtures to Iran had deteriorated into an arms-for-hostages deal. In 1998, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that workplace sexual harassment laws are applicable when the offender and victim are of the same sex. In 2015, the Justice Department cleared Darren Wilson, a white former Ferguson, Missouri police officer, in the fatal shooting of Michael Brown, a black 18-year-old, but also issued a scathing report calling for sweeping changes in city law enforcement practices, which it called discriminatory and unconstitutional. In 2020, daredevil Nick Valenda successfully walked across an 1,800-foot tightrope spanning the active Masaya volcano in Nicaragua, completing the trip across the steel cable in just over 31 minutes. And that's Today in History for March 4th, 2026. Now back to more music on PEP Radio.